Hello. How are you doing? I don't know about you, but I'm doing really good right now. And 10 minutes ago, I was doing really bad. And I was doing really bad during a work call, which somehow I got through without falling into bits and throwing things. Like, I'm so grateful that I was able to keep my composure. Now, I was visibly emotional. I was definitely visibly emotional. And that affected the gravitation of the work call. Thankfully, I work with a company that's very, personable, and they're very transparent, and you're basically to an extent on the same level as the people mentoring you. So it wasn't a problem. But basically what happened is I shared wait a sec. Let me preempt. Let me precursor this. So I know that my voice is often a point of discussion when it's used. People have told me to retain my low voice over my high voice. People have told me to, remain as a male as far as my voice. Which, come to think, of course there'd be people who would do that. Regardless of ill will. Of course there'd be people who would do that. Like, just out of sheer logic. If you're gonna change anything that drastically, how can you not expect there to be backlash? What human likes change? Unless it's so enormously necessary. None. My voice is my own. It is the only voice I will have, regardless of what tessitura, configuration, amplitude, clarity, texture of any sort it carries. My voice is my own. How I speak, how I sing, it will be done through the lens of this instrument. This is something that I, first and foremost, must own. I want to commend myself, my colleague at the company, and my dear friend who lives in Toronto, who is a YouTuber and wouldn't mind me plugging her channel in here, Lori Kaplan. Famously, Not Sorry, Love Lori. For reassuring me, and reminding me that if you want to bring yourself to advancement, you must not war with yourself. You must accept yourself and then push forward with all that you are. Fighting between the halves will not bring you to wholeness, will not bring you to expansion, will bring you to destruction and decimation and fraying of your skill, attitude to yourself, attitude to others, and your character. In some way big or some way small, it will affect you. And it won't be clean. I understand. My technique isn't perfect. But I can use it. I understand. Sometimes I get nasal. Sometimes I get raspy. Sometimes I jarringly switch between registers. Yeah. It's not impeccable. No. Sometimes I'm pitchy. You know? And sometimes I can't break sounding better male than as female. Which is a really tragic thing that is just my demon. But you know what? I've done pretty darn good for myself, considering how I sound right now. If I want to hum a tune, I can do that. And not feel like some vampire is occupying my larynx. What a blessing. What a gift to give myself, to call my own, you know. But this is beyond voice. If you want to make a sale, you have to be secure in your product, warts and all. Warts and all. The only reason I think that I have such confidence in my looks is because a lot of people told me, you know, what if I could have confidence in my looks without people telling me? Because if people didn't tell me, I swear I would think every single day that I look like a man with lipstick on. My jaws are very prominent. Look at this. You know, my Adam's apple, you can see it go up every time I speak. My brows are huge. My nose. It's not a delicate nose. You know, I'm 5'8", not that tall, but it's pretty tall for a girl. You know, my breasts aren't that big. Could be bigger, you know. But because I've been given the lens of, you're beautiful, don't change a thing, suddenly it's somewhat easy for me to actually accept that, you know, I don't look like a man, you know, or whatnot, which sometimes I think I do look like, you know. And then I question, should I go back, you know? Would that make everyone happy? You know. Goodness, why do you think that I have trouble half of the time doing like the, you know, oh goodness things like I'm doing in this and that, like exclamations going up, you know, past middle C or whatnot, you know? The main reason why is that people told me I shouldn't do it because because as I was training it, people were telling me like, why are you doing that, you know? And so I'm convinced, oh, you can't sing high. Oh, you can't even speak high. And what do you think happens? Suddenly I can't sing or speak high. Okay. No, I'm not Dolly Parton. No, I'm not Whitney Houston. No, I'm not Mariah Carey. You know. But I can be me. When have I ever said something like that? When have I ever said anything like that? For some reason, I have this pretentious idea that to say something like that is pretentious. Hell no. Hell no. When selling, be secure in your product. People will expect things to deal with. They will look for the gold. Do not embellish the mine with dirt and soot and underlying scaffolding just because you want to tell them, hey, I'm flawed. I'm flawed, but I also have a lot of power in me that I tend to undershelve. My voice is flawed, but boy, is it expressive. Boy, does it feel good to use. Boy, does it feel good to sing my own damn melodies with it. And others. But especially mine. And if you don't want to purchase, okay. If you want to, I'm extremely grateful. If you're like, I'll think about it, that's great too. Most people are like that. But I think that there's no good. I'm talking to myself when I say that. Unwise. Unwise. Do you see all the divas that we criticize like they're, lemmings packed in a box? Oh, Celine Dion, she has such a nasal voice. Oh, Mariah Carey, she sounds like she's singing through nodules. Oh, Whitney Houston, she uses too much chest. Oh, Maria Callas, she'll never be Joan Sutherland. Oh, Joan Sutherland, she's hardly expressive. What's wrong with you people? No, I shouldn't say that. Because I get the tendency, and I get the reason for it. It's like you can gain a lot of insight by doing those things and having people say those things. Oh, Lady Gaga, her range is limited. Her head voice is undeveloped. Whitney Houston's head voice is undeveloped. She uses so much chest. Have you realized that? It could be so much more than it is. I feel stupid saying that. But, anyway, you get the point. I'm not even going to go into further ones. I could have mentioned Ariana Grande, Dua Lipa, These are all singers I totally admire and adore and whatnot. And yes, there's singers with questionable voices, like Bob Dylan's, for instance, But even that, he can pull on the Lay Lady Lay thing if he wants to, He's Bob Dylan. He can sell the song pretty well, Anyway, I think I've said enough. This video probably should have ended at 10 minutes, but yeah, I think I've said what I need to. I'm getting a bit tired, so.